at Ed Iman's Fish Camp, and I'm visiting today with Steve McGrath of Camp Chef Stoves. And Steve's going to show us their smoke vault. We have caught a lot of fish this week, and we got to do something with them. So,
That's right.
So we're going to do a little instructional on smoking
on
fish.
the smoker. Okay, it has been a good week, and there's a lot of fish, and so you try and think of different ways to prepare it, right? And smoking seems to be the consensus favorite most of the time, and it lasts a lot longer. So smoking just works well. We've got our smoke vault here. It works well for it. You can see it's plenty big, you know. So no matter how much fish you're catching, you're going to be able to fit a lot of it in there. It's got a propane burner down in there, so you can control the heat up or down and really regulate it and kind of keep it where it needs to be. So it's a great smoker. Works really well. Got that great big dial right on the front, so you can see from across the patio there
you
what
always
you're cooking
know
at.
what the temperature
Sure.
is.
Yeah, and it gives you a good idea what's going on. So, but we've got fish. Thank goodness we caught fish. You can see this salmon. We've cut up into smaller pieces. The reason being that they're in smaller strips and smaller pieces is when we brine it, the brine will get into the fish a lot better this way. You can do, you know, bigger pieces, but it's harder to get it all the way through that piece of fish, whereas these smaller pieces works a lot better, both for smoking, brining, everything about it works better with these smaller pieces.
Okay.
Plus, it's just easier to eat the smaller pieces. You know, if you did a great big fillet, you may not have that big of a party, may not know that many people, and you may not consume it all, so these smaller pieces just work better.
Right,
So
and they freeze up better afterwards.
They do. They freeze up better, and they, you know, all the way around, it just works better. So these are, you know, fresh pieces here. They've been vacuum packed and have been frozen, but at the point where you're ready to cook them or whatever you want to do, smoke them, take them out. You know, I find the best way to thaw these out is throw them in a sink of cold water and just let them sit. And fish goes just like that. It'll unthaw within probably 30 minutes. It's really, really fast on these smaller pieces. So we've got the smaller pieces here, the raw pieces, and we'll show you what happens when we brine them here.
Okay.
So the brine, we've got in a Tupperware container here. You can tell all the goodness in there, the liquid goodness, and what that is it's basically a brown sugar base, so a dry mixture added with some Yoshida sauce, and when you put it all in there, there's a little liquid, but it all turns to liquid. Between the fish and the liquid you put in there and everything that goes on, it turns to liquid inside of there. So that's what's happening here, is it's turned to liquid. This particular one's been here like this for a couple of days now. And you want to, you know, open it up and stir it around just a little bit every once in a while to make sure everything's getting evenly coated and just, you know, everything's the way it's supposed to be in there. And then when it comes time to smoking it,
So you're going to brine it for about 24 hours or
at
so.
least. And if it happens to go a little bit longer, something comes up and it goes a little bit longer, great, you know, that's not a problem. You do want to keep it refrigerated. It's not something you can leave out on the back porch or the kitchen table. Keep it in the refrigerator. You've still got to, you know, maintain that safe food temperature. But you see on this one, these are the same kind of strips, but a lot longer.
Yeah.
So you pull that out, and all you can do is, we're not going to rinse it off. We're not really even going to wipe it off. You just kind of run your hand along it like that to take some of that stuff off, and you're going to slide it right in the smoker that way. It's still got some good moisture, some great flavor in there, and that's ready to be smoked. The way it sits right there is ready to be smoked.
Yeah, that looks good.
So yeah, you throw it in the smoker, and you know, it depends on how much fish you have in there and how big the fish are that you put in there as to how long you're going to smoke it for.
Okay.
And it's, you know, basically you're going to learn by experience, trial by error, I think, a lot of times, unfortunately. But that's how you're going to learn. Is you're going to learn by watching it and seeing what's going on, where it's at. And you can tell the color in this. You can tell what's going on there. It's great looking fish, but it still needs to go a little bit longer. These thinner sides here, these thinner pieces, are probably pretty close to go, but those thicker ones need a little bit more time on.
It smells amazing.
So this one here has split on the top, which is just fine. That's a part of, you know, when it splits a little, it'll get more of that smoke flavor in there. And there's a lot of different tricks out there, but favorite trick of one of the guys up here is to put honey on top and brush it. When there's about an hour or two left, put some honey and brush it on there. Gives a little moisture, gives a little sweet tang right on the top. Right. So, but smaller pieces, smaller batches, you can go from 3 to 4 hours. Bigger pieces, full smoker, I mean, you could go 8 to 10 to 12 hours. You could go quite a while. Low temperature is the key, as is the case with most smoking. low temperatures. You don't want to be 300. You know, this one here's been hanging about 150, 160. That's about where you want to be.
Okay.
But so it's going to take longer doing that, but it's going to taste better.
Okay. And I see a propane source.
Propane source down there, yes. We've got a propane burner down there. It's 20,000 BTUs. So right now we've got it very low, and it works just fine. But if you need to bake things in there, you know, you need to do a cobbler or Dutch oven potatoes, that type of thing, you can do that too. Turn it up. It'll hang around 375, 400, no problem, and you can bake in there just the same. So there's plenty of space. I mean, there's really a lot of different things you can do with it.
You could smoke a turkey in this.
Absolutely, smoke a turkey. You could smoke some almonds. You could smoke a bunch of different things. They're fun. They're fun, and the more you know, once you get one, the more you get used to it and get into it, the more you come to like it, and the more willing you are to explore and try new things. You know, you'll start with something you're comfortable with, whether that's fish or ribs or whatever it is, and then you'll start to branch out into other things. Smoked cheeses, you could do that if you wanted. So there's a bunch of different things you can do with them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I've got to get one of these guys. And Steve, how do we go about ordering? Where can you find these in the stores?
Very simple. We're on campchef.com, and on the website there we've got videos, we've got photos, we've got all the specifications and information there. Certainly we've got a lot of dealers. We've got Bass Pro Shop, Cabela's, Wholesale Sports, Fred Meyer, Sportco. We've got a lot of dealers up in this area, and so any one of those. But if you just want to research it, go to campchef.com, take a look there. And this is the big one. We do the 24-inch and we do an 18-inch, so 6 inches narrower. Same height, same depth, just a little bit smaller, but you won't be disappointed. It's a great smoker.
Great. Okay, so campchef.com, or you can find the link on our website, WashingtonLakes.com. Steve, thanks for visiting with us today.
Thank you, Mike.
And go smoke up some fish.
That's right. We'll do it. Thank you.